Do you think our two-party system still works? Appreciate your thoughts. Thank you. Whenever I think about, does something do good? Is it worth it? Is it working? The best way to answer that question is with this question. What's the alternative? If you can't come up with a better alternative, then that pretty much ends the question. So instead of a two-party system, there is an alternative, the parliamentary system. So we have two parties in America. I mean, we have many, but really we have two parties, Democrat and Republican. Now, even in parliamentary democracies, they usually have two dominant parties, usually conservative and labor, for example, in Britain. But a parliamentary system is not identical to the two-party system the way we have it in the United States of America, where it's proportional representation in the parliament, and then that party which has the most seats names its prime minister. That's how it works. And I don't know if the parliamentary system is better because it does enable some weird parties to get into government. Whereas America, there are weird people, but there were no weird parties because everybody has to be, for all intents and purposes, Republican or Democrat. If you want to start a third party, let's say the Greens, okay? If we had a parliamentary democracy in the United States, the Greens would have a seat in Congress. They would have a parliamentary seat because they would get enough votes to be in our parliament called the Congress. I wouldn't want that. So there are advantages and disadvantages to both systems. But by the way, it's just a very good lesson in life to ask, what's the alternative? It's like Churchill's famous comment about democracy. It's the worst form of government except for all the others. That's exactly right. It's awful because demagogues can get voted in. People who promise people goodies get elected because people want free things from the state. Demagogues can get into power. I mean, there are a lot of disadvantages to democracy. But what's a better system? Now, what the better system, ironically, is democracy that isn't fully democratic. That's America. We have two gigantic institutions in America that are not democratic. And that is the Electoral College. It's not the same as popular vote. Our president in America is not elected by popular vote. A fair number of presidents have won, and they had fewer votes than the person that they defeated. Because we vote by state, not by citizen. That's not democratic. The founders of the United States, whom I consider to be the greatest generation of wise people at one time in history. I don't know of any generation that had produced so many wise men at the same exact moment. And they have another completely undemocratic institution, the United States Senate. It's not proportional. Every single state has 2 senators. So California with 40 million has 2 senators, and Wyoming with I don't know, under 1 million, I don't know how many, 1.5 million, has also 2 senators. They didn't believe in complete democracy.